This video that I'm going to be showing you is a serious video. This has nothing to do with gaming. This is to spread the awareness of bullying that is happening to students in different schools. This is a video about a young 9-year-old boy named Caden, who was born with achondroplasia, which is a form of dwarfism, and has dealt with a large amount of bullying on a day-to-day basis during school. I, for one, take this extremely seriously, and I, for one, am bothered by this because of the fact of what this child is saying. This child is saying things that he wishes that he dies, and he wants to end his life now. And for a boy who is 9 years old, who should be enjoying, being a kid because of who he is, it's been a constant day-to-day issue for him at school. So please watch this video, and I want you to understand of why things like bullying and things like suicide is a very, very important and serious matter.
So I've just picked my son up from school, witnessed a bullying episode, rang the principal, and I want people to know, parents, educators, teachers, this is the effect that bullying has.
I'm gonna kill myself.
This is what bullying does. So can you please educate your children, your families, your friends? Because all it takes is for one more instant and you wonder why kids are killing themselves.
Give me it right now. I'll freaking stab myself in the car. You watch me. Even you too, Carolyn, I'm looking at you. You don't even do anything. And Mr. George got me to tell me to get in the class. I just want to die right now. I just want to bang my head into a glass. I want someone to kill me and drown me.
And this is the impact bullying has on a 9-year-old kid that just wants to go to school, get an education and have fun, but every single freaking day something happens, another episode, another bullying, another taunt, another name calling. So is there any advice or support or anything that other parents or families have done to help raise disability awareness and education within the school so that this doesn't happen? I've got some good advice, but I need more because this is the effect of bullying. This is what it's doing. And I want people to know how much it is hurting us as a family. I want people to educate their children. The whole anti-bullying shit isn't fucking working. And I've got a son that is suicidal almost every single day. Every time there's a triggering anything that happens at school or in public, which is almost every time we're in public, and we're about to head into a shopping centre now. And I wish that I could record everything every instant when we're in public, or have a hidden camera so that people could see. And this is the side that I don't choose to share. I choose to keep this private, but we can't do it anymore. We try to be as strong and positive as possible and only share the highlights, but this is how bullying affects a 9-year-old kid. And I've got to constantly keep my eye on him because of the suicide attempts. This is what bullying does, people. I've already called the school. It's been several times. Every time there's a new kid that's not aware of Quaden's condition, it's bullying. So we just went to pick him up and we saw a student patting him on the head and making fun of his height. And I said, do you want me to do something about it? He ran to the car in hysterics because he doesn't want me to make a scene at the school, and God knows I will. Me and his sister were there and we wanted to do something right there and then, but he wanted to come home, and now we have to deal with this. And I feel like I'm failing as a parent. I feel like the education system's failing. It is bloody hot as hell. And he was just on the basketball court having fun with the Brisbane Bullets. And it's the constant bullying, the name calling, like obviously pointing out his difference. So now we have a very severely suicidal child who's sick of the bullying that is every single day that he attends school or is in public. It's every single fucking day, and we're sick of it. So I just want people to know and see the impact, because this could be your child, or your child could be the bully that pushes a kid over the edge, and God forbid we lose another child to suicide because of the bullying. So any suggestions or advice would be greatly appreciated. So we're fucking over dealing with this every single fucking day of our lives. Anything you want to say before we go?
I'm gonna kill you, Carolyn!
So the next person that does bully or harass or discriminate against him better watch the fuck out. I'm serious. This ain't no joke no more. You better educate yourselves and your family and friends. Start doing something more in your schools, in your families, in the communities about disability awareness and education, because there is not enough, obviously. This should not be happening. This kid is with me 24/7. He lasted first term last year and was with me 24/7. Every single day, every single night he's with me because of the issues that bullying is causing, the negative public attention, which is why we've chosen to be more private now, but there's no escaping it. This is our reality. And it's like we have to get used to it. And I used to tell him, just ignore it. Well, no, fucking ignoring it doesn't solve the problem. How does that address bullying if you choose to ignore it? It needs to be addressed straight away, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. Every time it happens, I'll be doing a live video so that people know. So hopefully we can make some changes so that this doesn't happen to another family, and hopefully we don't lose another young innocent life to bullying.
This is a video of a child who is 9 years old, dealing with a situation that is not taken lightly through certain eyes. And he was picked on because of who he was. And it makes it a lot more difficult to do this video, because just to hear a 9-year-old saying stuff that he wants to die or he wants to kill himself or something like that, it's heartbreaking. Really, really heartbreaking. And I just wonder, because I'm feeling multiple different emotions of, I feel sad for him. I feel, very bad, and I feel like I understand, because I am also someone who's dealt with bullying. ever since I was a child. And it's a very serious situation. I also feel a sense of anger. And why I feel that way is because if you hear in the video, the mother says that this has been a constant thing and this is something that they wanted to keep quiet at one point. This is something that they wanted to, keep to themselves at one point and be positive, and that they went to the school about it and then nothing was done. Nothing was done. This is a main reason of why I don't trust things like a teacher or people like a teacher, or like anything of a principal, because it gets to a point where the main excuse is things like boys will be boys or girls will be girls, or things like things like like stuff like that is not taken seriously. I had dealt with this from when I was a kid to the time where I graduated high school. And what sucks is that I see a lot more, especially from where I was going from, more of pushing the rules of no phones or no headphones in the school or anything of like those little gestures, than taking things like bullying or any type of any type of rhetoric that causes a student harm, any of that seriously. That's why in my life I only know one teacher that I can trust, and it's not just me that went through that. I also know a bunch of people who went through that, and that it was literally not taken seriously. And the fact that if it's not just the schools I went to, it's other places, and that kids from the age of 12 and down are now thinking, I'm gonna kill myself, or contemplating suicide. And apparently there have been multiple attempts. If you hear the mom, it's like all the suicidal attempts is possibly like, there has been multiple attempts, or there have been noticing of the kids doing the attempts around the world. And the fact that that's not taken seriously by schools is a joke. It's something that is very serious. Things like clubs, like anti-bullying clubs, awareness weekends, they haven't done anything for these children. As much as I want to go ahead and I want to do something to bring children together, and to a point where it's like, this is not what it's supposed to be. School is supposed to be a place where we're supposed to learn and build our education to go out into the real world and get a job that we possibly love, do something that we always wanted to be. But it's also talking about interaction with each other, with student to teacher, student to student, teacher to teacher. And the fact that bullying is not a serious thing that is considered in the schools, that it's not considered serious to some people, that it's just a joke to some of these schools, and they haven't done anything, especially for this young man, or for people like me, or for other people that are dealing with it from a day-to-day basis. It's very upsetting. And it's very upsetting because of the fact that, it's a teacher, especially a teacher or a principal, or someone you should feel safe around, you should go to, especially when things like this is happening. But it wasn't for this kid. It wasn't for a lot of these kids that have killed themselves because of it. So that's why things like me trusting the school system is never gonna happen. Schools need to start taking this more seriously. If not, things like this and things like, things like this that has happened to this, this young man just because of who he is, will continue happening under those people's watch. And then something will happen. And then there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Which is sad. If you have been bullied, if you're dealing with bullying, and the teachers don't do anything, by all means tell your parents. Let them know. Especially parents who do care. And if you're a parent, if you're listening, take it seriously. My message to schools, principals, teachers, paraprofessionals, anybody who's part of the school system, take bullying seriously, because it's not a joke. Especially with the video that you saw today, it's not a joke. This is Nicholas Morales, founder of the EHG community.